Hello, hello, everybody. How's it going? Sorry for the lateness. You know how it goes with me. Whew. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can. What a morning. Hi, Heather. Thank you for being here. Let me see who's all here today. I know this is going to be a hot topic, and I knew that coming in, but that's okay. It needs to happen, you know? Oops, sorry about the noise. Goodness. All right. Got my chat out. I'm ready to go. So, of course, you know that I can't talk about EquiSearch and all that jazz, but good news today. Let's just say that. You'll probably see it in the news, so just look out for that. Look out for that. All right, let's see who's all here. Okay. I'll take this down, this little pinned message. Hello, Suzanne, 12-step, my love, guidance. Hello, hello. I hope you got some rest. She had a bug come in, a big old, I don't know, cicada that woke up everybody in the house. Lots of drama, but I hope y'all got some sleep. Hi, Linda. Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry. I know this is a touchy subject, and so I'm sure everyone's wondering what the hell am I talking about, right? But we'll get to it. Hi, single mama 4, lovely lady. Dad's timeline doesn't add up. Well, we're going to get into that, but we're going to get into some of the nitty gritty of, because we haven't heard a lot from Tyler Vaughan. First, we have to kind of go into the mindset of Brandi and why she takes up for him so much and why she has to. Because there's going to be some things that Brandi says that's going to make you question some things. Okay, and I just want you to have an open mind and understand that I believe that Brandi's coming from a place of being fed up, anger. She doesn't know where her son is. She's protecting her family. And so just have an open mind when you hear some of the things that you're going to hear. It's going to be hard because some of the things, I can tell you, I was even like, you know, that meme with, what's his name? He's really handsome from the interview or whatever. Anyway, 12-step. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. Who else we got in here? Patty Ann's Ponderings. Hi, sweetheart. Cheryl. Emma Bear. Hi, sweetheart. She's my TikTok buddy. We didn't even know we were friends until the other day. Barb. Hi. Romero. Thank you for being here. Sizama, my love. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for donating what you have so far for the month of February, because March isn't done yet. We have raised $100 to go towards these 5 channels. So I'm going to hold off and wait until we kind of get some more donations, because that would be $20 per place. So I'm waiting to kind of build up some more, as we go, because March isn't done yet, right? Kathy, hello. Heather the Brat, thank you for being here. Oh, thank you. I don't feel gorgeous. I just rolled out of bed. I do have my Cowboys jersey on today. And there's no meaning to the number 4, so all you loony boonies, it doesn't mean anything. It's just the number 4 because it was on the jersey. I literally grabbed this on the way to a game once. Excuse me. The weather is really bad here. It's about to sleet in Texas again, and it was 70 degrees yesterday, so I'm just done with it. I'm done with it. Out of the blue, hello. All right, I think I caught everybody. If I didn't, welcome. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you like my content, and let's get started. All right, y'all. This is a hard one. because we all know how heartbroken Brandi Neal is, because and I truly believe she does not know where Michael Vaughan is. She has to work, take care of 3 other children. Life doesn't stop. And she is what we would, expect a mother to be like in her situation. I cannot imagine the emotional toll that it takes being in their shoes. It's already an emotional toll on the other end of it, right? But I truly feel like the things that you're going to hear that are going to make you question Brandi, it's going to. I want you to think about how she's coming from a place, not only having a missing child and having to work, but the people who were trying to help find Michael are also very kind of brutal in the sense, because they're kind of on the same linear path of thinking when it comes to Tyler. You don't hear a lot about Tyler. You don't, everybody has been questioning his, I guess, lack of being out there in the public. And so we're going to get into that. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Sleuthy Goosey on Twitter. I think she might have a YouTube channel here, but I'm not sure. But I just recently started listening to the things that, all the drama that was going on Twitter with Brandi and I think her name is Nicole Marie and a few other people. I believe one of the friends that are close to Brandi, I think her name is Crystal. We could kind of clarify that here in a little bit. But there's so much drama already, and I feel horrible for Brandi. At the same time, Brandi is just doing what a wife and a mother would do, I think. But I do want your opinions, because your opinion matters, and maybe there is something I'm missing, and maybe we can come up with something to investigate and do a reading on. I've been pulled so hard on Rose Bly, and then I got pulled directly into Monkey. It was just a bam thing the past 2 days. So my mind's a little scattered. Forgive me. Let's see what Jill has to say. Jill, has anyone contacted the psychic Reverend Donna Serafina? Yeah, she did a reading on Michael. With Brandi. And I believe the grandfather, I don't know if he was there or they talked. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. But the grandfather has something to do with that reading. And you know what? I keep getting pulled to the grandfather too. The one living, Brandi's dad. He's a vet. I don't know if it's Marines or I think it's Marines. But there's that element there. The drama that came out of Sleuthy Goosey on Twitter and all that stuff. Let's just get into it. How about that? Because I don't want to muck the ideas that you might have about it. So, be honest, but again, just remember where Brandi's coming from. And this kind of makes it even more convincing to me about the behaviors. And then we're going to get into the timeline. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to pull up the first. So on Twitter, there's these things called recorded spaces where you go and you can chat, just kind of like, StreamYard in a sense, but it's just within Twitter, I believe. So we're gonna play this recording that I listened to. It is 3.5 hours long, but I'm going to speed it up. So I hope that it can have closed captions for you guys. All right. Yeah, it does have. Let me know if y'all can hear anything. I don't hear anything. Maybe they just haven't started yet.
And so this.
Okay, there it is. All right.
Arguing, but oh wait, I can't hear. Oh, this is way better. Okay, I need to turn you all up. Okay, so basically, we're here because someone that is advocating for Michael um, has witnessed and knows and is much more knowledgeable about probably him. She's probably say she's seen much more of him than we have, um, and kind of what happened to him, or um, maybe what the timeline would look like if it was more transparent and honest. And this has to be the absolute most nerve wracking thing that she thought she was going to do. I would say that this is probably making her more anxious than she was on Spaces when people were going back and forth arguing.
The context, okay. So this is Nicole Marie, who is a huge advocate for Michael Vaughan. Is she rough and gritty? Yes. Are her questions good? Absolutely. I think Dope Soul is Crystal. I could be wrong, or if, I think it might be the friend of Brandi and Tyler. I'm not really 100% clear on it, but we're going to definitely verify that, right? We need to. I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm trying to find out if I can do like a dark theme on Twitter so that I can see it, because this brightness is crazy. So I'm going to try to do that real quick because it's killing me. It really is. I thought I already changed it. But yeah, that's the context. So this web sleuth, Nicole Marie, she is been talking, on Twitter a lot and conversating with Brandi. They've gotten into arguments. The people involved have gotten into arguments. But we need this information. We need to review it because of the behavior between everybody and the reactions and of everyone that, was involved with Michael too. So let's look at it. I don't think I'm going to be able to switch this right now.
But so just everybody keep in mind that, and I know you all agree that this is very emotional and brave. And so we're going to let her go ahead and tell us just whatever it is that she thinks is important.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm going to start by saying this is the hardest fucking thing I'm ever going to fucking do in my life, because I'm going to be really emotional through this whole
Lots
thing.
of
I have
naughty
grown
words. Sorry,
really
guys.
attached to Michael and his entire family. I have spoken to his mom and his dad every day for months.
So this is the friend.
I've seen videos of him that no one else has seen. I've seen pictures that no one else has seen. And I feel like I've known him my whole life. And so this is hard because my heart is torn between protecting the family and doing what's right for Michael. And I love Michael. I do. And I just want him found. And I feel like maybe, just maybe, if we all come together and we put our information and your information together, that maybe we can find him and we can bring him home. Because I can't hold on to everything anymore all by myself, because it's too much for me anymore. Because I'm only one person and I can't do everything. And I just want him found. And my heart is breaking. And I have made friends along the way who have turned into like family because I've been working with them for so long and I can tell them anything. But with that being said, we have to come together to find Michael, because I don't want to watch it become a case like Chiron where he's been missing for 12 years. Like I don't want to see that happen with Michael. So I don't even know where to begin. I'm just going to be honest, because nothing is organized. I didn't plan on doing this. I didn't. But I've prayed for so long, and I just feel like this is the right thing to do at this point, because I don't know what else to do. And the first if somebody stole a child. So I will say that.
Sorry, that's so much better on my eyeballs.
Driving down a farm road. They're not. So whether there's a actual it is an ongoing investigation, but there are things that aren't being said that I feel like there's no reason they shouldn't be said, because he needs to be found.
No, this is the friend, Crystal,
I
that's
agree
gotten close to the family.
with all of you with the farm road thing. I have been saying it. I have said it myself.
Sorry, for some reason it stopped, so I'm gonna refresh. It's probably because I was messing with it. Sorry, guys. But this is important, so stay tuned. Oh, snap. I think it's the graphics, like I have it way too high. Oops. Man, I'm messing up today. I gotta get it together. All right.
She anymore.
That's what it was.
All by my theory. Because there are ways out. There are actual ways out, and then there are ways that are not ways out, but could potentially be a way out if somebody stole a child. So I will say that. As far as the timeline goes, if you want me to be completely honest, it's crap. I don't know. It's changed. I have 3 different timelines. I still don't know if all of it's right or not. It's not information that comes directly from law enforcement. It's things that do come from, I can back it with like phone records and stuff. So as far as it being accurate that way, yes. I will say that most of what Brandi said about the timeline was correct. She was off by a couple minutes on a couple phone calls, which I guess we could expect that with a missing child, that you wouldn't remember the exact time you made a phone call or you received a phone call. So in the beginning, she said Tyler called her at 7:04. It turned out to be 7:05. She was a minute off. She has a missing child. I get it. I completely understand it. I don't fault her for it. As far as what else is there on the timeline? Tyler changing the baby's diaper. That's never changed. As far as I can gather, it's always been 6:30. That has never changed. Tyler did not lie about that. When Kira got home, or fuck, I said her name. I shouldn't have said her name. When the older sister got home, she didn't see Michael, but Michael was allowed to play in the backyard. They'd have a fenced-in backyard. He was allowed to go into the shop and play with his trucks and the little toys and stuff that they have for him there. So it wasn't uncommon for him to be in different areas like that. So for her not to see him wasn't all that.
Sorry, there's something going on.
Because
I apologize. 1 second.
Would play where he knew he was allowed to play. So when she came home, she didn't see him, and that's because he was playing with his trucks or his cars in the shop. And then she took a shower and she took a nap. As far as the older brother locking himself in his room, I've never heard that myself personally. I've also never spoken to the babysitter personally, so
good gravy.
I don't know. I do have recorded phone calls with the babysitter, lots of them. I did suspect her for a long time. I, however, don't anymore. I just think the woman's batshit crazy.
Yep. Okay. So if anyone knows about the babysitter, she was the one that was beside Tyler. I believe. Let me Google it and make sure that I have all of the right information. Because these cases get muddled in my brain. I can't remember her name. Nanny. I always forget her name. Like Michelle or something. So let me put Nanny. I can't get into my my little notes. Jennifer Hannah. See, I always want to call her Hannah. That's it. Okay. So Jennifer Hannah. And I want you to kind of have her picture in your mind, right? So that you know who we're talking about. This case is really, really deep. Because he's such a sweet boy. He's just an innocent, sweet kid. You know?
Just like at the top of the newscast, we are staying on top of this developing news tonight. People in Fruitland are refusing to give up hope for a 5-year-old boy who's been missing since Tuesday evening. CBS 2's Trevor Fay is live in Fruitland. He has the very latest tonight.
Well, Natalie, as we were saying earlier in the show, the Fruitland Police Department is going to be holding a press conference tomorrow at 2 p.m. just down the street behind me here at Fruitland
And we'll go over
City
the press
Hall.
conference
Now,
too
what
if we
I
have
do
time.
know is that they were conducting investigations earlier this afternoon, looking through people's cars and checking their license plates to see exactly who was passing in and out of Michael's neighborhood. Now, let's take a look at Michael's picture. This here is Michael Vaughan. He's just 43 inches tall and weighs 50 pounds. He was last seen wearing a blue Minecraft t-shirt with dark blue boxer briefs, and he answers to the nickname of Monkey. He lives near the corner of Southwest 9th Street and Arizona in Fruitland, where, as I said, police were conducting a search, taking pictures of license plates and asking how many people were in each car. Anyone with information about Michael is asked to call the Fruitland Police Department using the number here on the bottom of your screen. Fruitland Police are holding that press conference, as I said, tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here at Fruitland, asking how many people. Fruitland Police are Hall. And another good thing to mention is that many folks are conducting their own investigations, trying to find Michael anywhere that he might be in the town of Fruitland. But police do ask that you just respect people's privacy and their private property, and make sure to get permission before looking through private yards and residences. Reporting live in Fruitland, Trevor Fay, CBS 2 News.
Trevor, thank you so much for your live reports throughout the evening. Here's another look at Michael Vaughan. You can call Fruitland Police or 911 if you know anything about his disappearance or you've seen something strange. This night, people in Fruitland are CBS 2's Trevor Fay.
I never saw her hug the...
Now, what I do, in checking their... He was last seen wearing a boxer.
Where's the hug?
As I said, it's an Allen Police Department. And police are right here at Fruitland City.
Of course. Ugh. Maybe I can just Google the images. I want y'all to see her in action. It helps. You know? So I'm going to Google her. Google image her. So it's one of those. I think that's her. Why is she so hard to find? That's ridiculous. So ridiculous. Anyway, she gets a hug from one of the attendees. So anyway, let's just keep that in mind and we'll continue. I'm sure she's on Twitter somewhere. Okay.
Let me see. The older sister did leave right after the pizza was ordered. And then that was when Tyler was looking in the house for Michael because he thought that he was playing hide and go seek and he was looking for him. So it wasn't like when she left, it wasn't like he was missing, like panic missing, just they couldn't find him. And she ended up leaving. I do know that he searched the house, he searched the yard, he drove to the park, he searched, he came home, he had called Brandi, he had talked to Brandi, and then he called 911 And at the same time, Brandi called her daughter to tell her daughter to come home. I did see somebody comment my exact thought, where it wouldn't seem uncommon to me where they would hang up. One would call 911, one would call the child. So that was my exact thought when I seen that the same times happened. So I didn't see anything suspicious in that sense. And then the search, what happened, Brandi has always been adamant about she pulled into her neighborhood and the police were there looking already. And it was not a full-blown search as far as the way she explains it. It was neighbors were searching. There were cops there, but it wasn't like everybody had been called in yet.
Keep in mind, Brandi
that
is
happened a little later.
Brandi is adamant that no one else was at the house except for the family, and Brandi was at work. So Michael was playing hide and seek, which, in my opinion, if you're going to play hide and seek, you play with him, or say, hey, can we do this in a minute? Let me, order some pizza. Hide and seek, to me, when I heard that, at first I was like, yeah, totally get it. I used to do that when I was 5. And then something clicked. You know how you get that feeling when you're seeing something happen in front of you and you get like this could be just me, but a full body chills, and you're just like, and it's almost surreal, like you're out of your entire body and something just shakes you, saying no, something's wrong, and it's scary. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, that's how I felt with the hide and seek. That would be a very good thing for you to have an alibi with, because it's like, oh, he was playing hide and seek, so he's going to go outside and go run down the street and never to be found again. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So that, don't tell me why, or don't ask me why, rather, but the hide and seek doesn't sit. Now, if you think that I'm being a little too over dramatic, but that's just my intuition, and the hide and seek is very, in my opinion, convenient to then go missing, because it alludes to the fact that that is what started. Hi, Sandy. That is what started him missing. What do you guys think? Hey, Liplock, welcome. Yeah, hide and seek creeps me out as well, and always has. Els, hi, Elle. She says, yes, I'm a big time feeler. I know what you mean. It's like literal spidey sense for me when I actually listen to my empathic intuition. Yes, ma'am. It is there for a reason. Law enforcement every day uses their intuition as well as their logic, or they should. Most cases usually are solved with empathy, and you could tell. Watch any crime documentary, and right before a big tip or a big lead happens to solving a case, and you have an FBI agent or a law enforcement officer or detective or whatever, you always notice that they had a feeling to go down this route, or a feeling to re-examine this or that, and you'll notice, and I would say 90% of the time they would, follow their intuition and lead to something bigger. So anyway, getting off of that, the hide and seek bothers me, and that will be one of the questions in the EVP and tarot sessions to ask. All right, let's keep going.
But when she says people were searching, as far as she has said to me, it was neighbors, etc. So then, let me keep going. So the search went on for forever.
Emmy Bear said, is mom and dad still together during this? Just curious how mom feels about dad. That is coming up. I wanted to let you know, I'll let you know that they are still together. And, in February 15th and the 16th, there are recordings of Brandi speaking to someone. and you're going to know just how adamant Brandi is about Tyler. And that is the concerning part to me. Not about Brandi, about what she says and the lengths that she would go to demand that everyone get off of Tyler. And again, keep this in mind, I do not feel like she's doing that nefariously or to protect him from something, some knowledge, I just believe that is how adamant she feels, and she's potentially clouding her own judgment because of her loyalty. This Brandi is loyal. You can hear it. You hear the loyalty to her other children, to Tyler, and to her own father. So let's keep going.
Hannah did not lie about the time that Brandi called her. That was true. And as far as the timeline, that's really all I've got, because like I said, my timeline has changed 3 times and I speak to her daily. So I don't even have like an accurate 100%, like I can say with certainty, this happened, except for certain calls, because I have seen them on a call log. So I can say that those were right as far as the timeline.
Crystal, I just want to ask real quick. So basically, what the timeline that's right is pizza. Okay, Tyler went to go change the diaper at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
Ordered pizza at 6:40.
Yes.
Older sister left like 6:40 or so, 6:45.
Yes.
He was looking for Monkey. He thought that he was playing hide and seek.
All right, so we really need to make sure, or I need to make sure that I get that timeline down, because at 6:30, Tyler changes the baby's diaper, so they have a little infant. All right, and she says at 6:40, let's go back just a minute. I think I went forward on accident.
That was true. And as far as the timeline, that's really all I've got, because like I said, my timeline has changed 3 times and I speak to her daily. So I don't even have like an...
She is right. So Brandi even apologizes about the inconsistencies, the certain inconsistencies. And I do believe her. I think that she had so much adrenaline going on. Things are going to come back later, or, you're going to get things wrong in the heat of the moment when you're trying to remember those things. Just like, Candace at the watering hole. Everything's in slow motion now. Well, yeah, because you were in a heightened state. Everything seemed to go faster because you were pumped up with adrenaline. So things are going to come later or change a little bit. As long as they're not huge pieces. Excuse me. That's understandable, guys. It's totally understandable. So I just wanted you to know that.
Accurate 100%, like I can say with certainty, this happened, except for certain calls, because I have seen them on a call log. So I can say that those were right as far as the timeline.
Crystal, I just want to ask real quick. So basically, what the timeline that's right is pizza. Okay, Tyler went to go change the diaper at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
Ordered pizza at 6:40.
Yes.
Older sister left like 6:40 or so, 6:45.
Yes.
He was looking for Monkey. He thought that he was playing hide and seek. So I guess that's probably why. So he probably looked around pretty calmly for a little while, then called Brandi, 20 minutes later, and that's why she said, check under the bed. That makes more sense.
Yeah, because he called Brandi after he had went to the park to check for Michael, and when he realized that he didn't see Michael anywhere, that's when he called Brandi. That's when he began to panic. When he checked immediate areas, that's when Tyler's panic set in, and that's when he called Brandi, and that's when she was like, well, check between the bed and the wall, because I guess that was a really popular spot that he liked to hide during, like hide and go seek.
Sure. And then do you happen to...
Now, one thing that we need to understand is that Tyler went to go check on to find Michael. I believe Brandi said they captured him on CCTV footage looking for Michael at the splash pad where he was, I believe, last seen. Because the video that I did with my intuition, right, we literally followed a path around the school off of Texas Street. It goes down and we do a big O square and it goes back to the house across the street from the splash pad. That's all over the news with the 2 cars. Remember the 2 cars? So I did not know this. But behind that house that I came back up on, there's the splash pad area. I didn't know it's behind it. Like behind here somewhere or down the street, maybe a little bit further. It's around that area. I didn't know that. Do I feel like these 2 cars have anything to do with it? I don't. I could be wrong, but the readings that Donna Serafina and myself have done reference a white truck. The white truck is the dad's truck, or maybe the grandfather's, one of them. That's in the driveway. You could see it on Google Maps at their home. That is the truck I saw, and that's the one Donna saw. So, yeah, just keep that in mind as well. But it's really, it's that splash pad isn't way too far off from this area, and literally did a square back to this house and didn't realize it until I said, hey, that house looks really familiar. And then I looked at the News Nation's picture, and it was it. That was it. I literally made a big O square where I think predators were looking for him, whatever. So anyway, we have to think about the fact that he had an infant that he was taking care of, Tyler, at the house. If he's searching for 20 minutes and the eldest daughter is leaving at the same time that he is just ordered pizza and looking for Michael, there's not a lot of people to really watch the baby besides the other kiddo. The other kiddo. And I don't know how old they are. So just something to think about. You have to think about what's going on back at the house while Tyler is searching for Monkey for 20 minutes.
To know when Brandi left work or got back to the house?
I do not. We have not been able to pinpoint exactly when she got home.
But it would have been after 7:21 when, she wasn't with him when they called 911, when he called 911.
Correct.
And then when she got...
From what she says, she wasn't, right.
And then when she got home, there were, a few police officers, neighbors. They were searching, but, there was not... It doesn't sound like it was very much of, an urgency, it may have been maybe an hour from then.
To me, it kind of sounded like they originally suspected, a 5-year-old child wandered off.
Sure. Okay. All right. You go ahead. I just wanted to make sure.
Totally plausible, right?
Well, I don't know what to go ahead with. So,
well, let me ask you this.
Yeah, Ashley, we're about to get into that, honey.
Jennifer Newman's house that day?
Yes, he did go. That was the first house he went to.
And how do we know that was 6:37?
That time is incorrect.
Okay. When was that?
It was around 6:42 because he didn't see. So this is where a lot of the confusion came in. When Jen said he was at my house Monday night, he was playing with the kids and stuff. Jen, to my understanding, the way I've understood it, was not home when Michael went there. It was her husband that was home. He's the one that seen Michael. So when she says that she didn't see Michael that day, she's not lying about that. She didn't, as far as I understand. It was her husband. And he was the one that was ruled out quickly by the Walmart security footage and stuff, because that's where he was going. And that's when he walked Michael to his mailbox to go back home.
Okay, so she probably did see him Monday night.
She did. He was.
So it seems like he might have been cleared. I believe that's the neighbor, right? I don't know if it's... Let's look at that. Let's get all of the angles here because I am not going to stop looking at this case until something adds up. Something isn't adding up. So let's look at the neighbor. I know there's a video out there. Okay, Kathy, thank you for stopping by, though. I know that there's an interview with the neighbor. Maybe I just need to Google it. I try to have these all set up for you guys to watch, but I'm sorry. There's not a lot on it. I know I saw her. Okay. True Crime Story. Thank you for True Crime Society, rather. So let's see what the news has to say. It's always interesting to get their side. At around 6:40 on that night, Tyler left the room where Michael was playing to go change the baby's diaper. Some reports say that the diaper was very messy and it took him a long time to clean it up. The little things that come out are called, what do we call that? Anyone? Anyone? Those little details that, Candace and Dawn and all the people. Over explanations. Over explaining the reasons why. These are the little things. Distractions. Thank you, Ashley. Yes. There are also some reports that he ordered pizza for their dinner. Either way, he was away from Michael for 15 to 20 minutes. I can tell you that it does not take me 20 minutes to change a messy diaper. That would be a very unfortunate 20 minutes for a child to sit there. It takes at best 5 minutes to get diaper cream, wipes, diapers, whatever. It does not take, in my opinion, any more than 5 minutes unless you're bathing the baby. Unless you got poop on the bed and you got to take the sheets off, which I highly doubt. So, those are the things. The over sharing the messy diaper. I don't know where that came from. I don't know who said that. It just makes me, hi, Navallus, True Crime, hello. Say, because people will think he's dead on not share face poster. Parents have nothing to do with this. Understood. That's why we go through every single thing. Because there might be one little tip that you never know that may get to the truth of something. If the police brought, and this is jumping ahead, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. If the police brought Mr. Vaughan in to read his rights in February, it tells me that there's a little bit more to the story. And the reaction that Brandi had to that tells me that there's a lot going on. All right. So if you can go and find Michael and Summer and Lena Kill, if you can go find them, then the speculation and web sleuthing will stop. If not, let's continue, because these children matter and we need to help find them in our way. That's what we do here. So let's continue. When he returned to the room, Michael was nowhere to be seen. Tyler started looking for Michael, and he soon became frantic when he was nowhere to be found. So, it's totally possible that when the sister was leaving, that he maybe had followed her out and she didn't recognize it. Did she have AirPods in, or Was she on the phone with somebody? Who knows? She might not have seen anything, you know? And so he went one way, she went another. We don't know. We just don't. All right, Tyler started looking for Michael and soon became frantic. Tyler called Brandi and told her what was going on. He also called authorities and police arrived quickly, which is perfect. When Brandi got home from work, she was met with flashing lights and police cars. Neighbors told police that Michael had been seen knocking on doors in the area right around the time he disappeared. Brandi has since spoken to the media and she doesn't know why he would be knocking, but that he was very friendly. Neighbors told police that Michael had been seen knocking on doors in the area right around the time he disappeared. Okay, now we obviously don't know what CCTV footage, what all CCTV footage the police have. We don't. So we can't say one way or another why he was knocking. I'm going to put my theory out there, and it's just a theory, and a theory only. Please do not take it as absolute fact. What if he was knocking to get help? Navallus, I understand. I totally understand. This is my platform. I'm very, if you go watch my videos, you would understand that I am always very clear about that these are speculations, this is not absolutes, and that this is my entire platform is to try to help. I have never started rumors, I don't believe, on this channel. So go watch my videos and then make a decision on who, if you trust me or not. But this is my platform. Thank you. Thank you for talking about the case. I feel something is not right. Yeah, Helly, we're gonna review it. All right. When Brandi got home from work, she was met with, okay. So getting back to the knocking. And I do appreciate you, Navallus, but you're trying to sway me. And I get it. You think that you know what's the absolutes, I think, right now, because you've done videos, and I appreciate you, and I do like your channel, but I don't like trying to be persuaded, or excuse me, swayed to say something because that's the narrative you know to be true to you. So I'm not trying to start any shit. I get tired of people saying, be careful, don't investigate these certain things. And that's just not how we work here. We're investigating everything to help, because I know Brandi's heart is broken. And we have an epidemic here of children missing, so I'm just trying to do the very best that I can, and I'm not trying to start rumors. I even have a scrolly thing on the bottom that says that. All right. So about the knocking, the thing about that is it possibly could be maybe something happened or someone was walking and it scared him, and who knows? Again, we can't know for sure because of the CCTV footage. We don't know all that they have. So if she doesn't know why he'd be knocking, it's just something to consider. Maybe he was knocking because there was something urgent, or someone was there trying to talk to him in a car. We don't know. Obviously, they put out 2 cars, a blue and a white car. Maybe it was a different car. Who knows? Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it. Sorry, I just get kind of tired of it. Being told what to say when that's not how I roll. It was all just a big blur, Brandi said. She sped back and forth down the neighborhood streets, asking if people had seen Michael, while Tyler spoke to law enforcement. I'm just screaming that he didn't wander off. There's no way in hell. I think that's a cousin or a friend. She's interesting too. The first missing and endangered child alert went out at 8:20 with 4 different alerts to email, phone, and text until 11:20 that night. The area near Michael's home is rural and farmlands. Neighbors came out that night to start the search for him. Now, we did do a live the other day, or a few weeks ago rather, and there was a few predatorial people that had either lived there around that time or are living there and down the way. All right, so there are registered SOs in the area. We also went down, that private road that everyone talks about that kind of goes into concrete, like it starts out concrete and then it's a road that goes to the right. And there was a house there. I don't think it's there anymore. Could be wrong. But anyway, I have a video on that. And if you follow the opposite way behind, so here, how do I explain this? We'll go into it, but right here, this little area right here, if you go down that way over here, so here's their street, go way over here, there is a county road that kind of follows back, and there is so much trash, garbage, like a hoarder style little area. It's got a house, it's got multiple vehicles, and I wonder if they've gone there because there is so much junk and stuff back there that maybe if he did wander off, maybe he somehow ended up there. It wouldn't hurt to look, but go check that video out because it's always just alerted me, always, that area. So, oh, thank you, guys. I appreciate your kind words, guys. Thank you. It makes me kind of upset when people just come in who don't know me, who haven't even said hello and just start spewing shit. I appreciate it. It really grinds my gears. Thank you, Chaos Cream. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's see what else. They looked through 200 garbage cans, canals. They drained it, I think, after they could at one point, a few weeks after. 29 riverbanks, 29 miles. You know what, guidance? I wonder if the Oregon-Idaho River, I think that's what it's called, if that was part of the search. So maybe you could look up that 29 miles of riverbank using private fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters. Yeah, I would look for that because of your theory. They did drone flights. This is why I think it's an abduction. I just don't know how and how that came to be. Anyway, they have been 100% cooperative. Huff said that they were handling the situation as well. But we're going to get into some things. There were 2 individuals that were seen near the splash pad. We all know about them. One was cleared, I believe. Maybe, or a person of interest. Anyway, so I'm going to keep this page up over here because there's videos that we need to go over. It's already almost an hour. Of course, it's going to do that. But I wanted to start from the beginning and have everybody understand because I'm hitting this hard. I might even go live a few times today because I'm not gonna give up on this. This is so strong, right? So, all right.
From what I understood, he was over there playing with the kids on Monday night. Well, Monday, I don't know exactly what time.
Sure. And then so 6:42 is when her husband saw him. But was that just him going and knocking, or was he over there kind of playing?
No, that was when. So he never knocked. He actually saw the husband in the garage, and the husband was like, "No, I'm getting ready to leave. I got to go to the store. You got to go home, buddy." And he walked him around to his mailbox, and he seen Michael at his mailbox, and that was 6:42. So the time difference is not Brandi's fault. The first FBI agent that was on the case before they got a new one was basically a jerk and didn't do what he was supposed to do, so they assigned someone else to the case. And that's where the new time came in. from what I've been told.
Hi, everybody. This is Mike. Thank you so much for coming and doing this, Crystal. You know, it's really been hard for all of us to digest times and what's been going on. And I just want to thank you for taking the courage to to come on the space and explain a little more detail for all of us, so we have a better knowledge of it. I just have a couple questions, and it's more as at special times. So at 6:30 is when Tyler, he went to change the diaper. Is that correct?
Yes.
From what we know. Okay. At 6:40 is when he ordered the pizza.
Yes.
Okay. What time did the daughter come home from the band before she went back out?
I don't know exact time that she came home.
Okay, but she did come home before she went back out, and then when this was all taking place, that's when Brandi called her and told her to return home. Is that correct?
Yeah, she came home, she took a shower, she took a nap, and then her friend came and picked her up later on. And then when they realized Michael was missing, Brandi called her back.
Right, but the daughter ultimately left at 6:45, right, from the house.
Yes.
Okay, and then at 7:05 is when Tyler called Brandi.
Yes.
Okay, and told Brandi that he suspected Michael was gone, and he went to the park and searched and came back home by that time.
I don't know exactly what he told her. I just know that he called her and told her that he couldn't find Michael. But I know that he had went to the park before he called Brandi.
Okay, now my other question is in the last couple of spaces, there was also some kind of conflict about the neighbor situation.
Okay.
When Michael went to the neighbor's house, the first neighbor's house, that was at 6:42. Is that correct?
I don't know exactly what time he went there. I know at 6:42 was when he was seen in front of his mailbox. That's when
right, and that was at the first home that he went to where the husband was in the garage.
Correct.
Okay, how many other homes did Michael go to while he was looking to play with other kids? Do you know that?
Let me find my map. Okay, so he went to. Okay,
I'm just looking for what I'm looking for is like a total number of homes: 2, 5, 6, whatever.
4.
Okay, now. There was also, if I'm not mistaken, someone had mentioned something about that there was an elderly couple that live on the street that also saw Michael.
Yes.
Okay. At what time was that they saw him?
The only thing that they said was that they were on their second puzzle of Wheel of Fortune when they saw him. So
okay, but where were they located? Were they located inside their own home and they were looking out a window? Were they on their porch? Just swinging on a swing, watching people go down the road?
They were inside their house, and they lived directly across the street from Michael's home, so they seen him in front of his mailbox.
Okay, when they saw Michael in front of his mailbox, was that after he had been to the other 4 homes?
No, this would have been before.
Okay, that clears a file lot too. So basically, as far as the timestamp, from 6:30 is when any family member saw Michael last, and the neighbors saw him last like 15-20 minutes later while he was not. I mean, if we're going off of the one house that he did go to and the husband was there, that was at 6:42. So let's say 15 minutes, give and take a couple minutes each way.
Correct.
And then during that time, Tyler was driving to the park and driving home. How far is that park away from their home?
Driving maybe a minute, maybe 2.
All right. So if Michael would have walked to the park, would he take the road that goes to the park, or would he cut through people's backyards going to the park?
From where the park is, it would seem he would have to take the road because you would have to cross Southwest 8th to even get to the park.
Okay. All right.
But there is an alley.
From 6:30 until 6:00.
There is an alleyway. We went over that on my other video. There is a little alleyway that I will have to research again or go back to my video again. I think everybody who was there remembers that, right? I think it was on Texas Street coming up towards going to the left after Texas Street down. There are ways to cut across. There are. So that little square block that I did, I'm telling you, it's within something happened within that square. I really wish and I really hope that everybody who's watching, if they ever see a kid come up and knock to the door, knock on your door, make sure you try to get them to their front door. Make sure you walk them all the way. And if they don't know how to get there, you call, stand outside or go get your phone, do what you got to do and call the police. All right. This is not, I don't care if you've known this kid their whole lives. You always make sure they get to the front door and that a parent make sure that they go inside. period. Let's not get lazy. And I'm not saying that they were, that the man that took, said it was time for him to go home. I'm just saying, if that extra step maybe would have been taken, we might not be in this predicament. And I'm going to say this. I know how I'm going to say it. I know how hard it is to manage multiple children. I was married to a man who had 5 children. I was very young and naive. Don't come at me. So I was a stepmom to 5 children at one time. And those little rascals, they were young. I mean, ranging from 2 years old all the way to 12. All right. And they were spread out pretty evenly with the ages. I can't tell you how many times I've had to go out and go get the 3-year-old or the 2-year-old because he ran out of the house while I'm cooking dinner or whatever. I get it. But I always had a head count within 5 to 10 minutes. If I knew that I was busy or I knew that I was going to be watching the kids by myself with no help, I had a head count. I knew if something wasn't right within 5 to 10 minutes. Which is all it takes for a child to go missing. I do understand that. I'm just saying, you got to be on your shit.
7:05. Whatever happened in between with the pizza ordered. We don't know what time that the sister actually came home, but we do know that she left at 6:45. And then Brandi had called Tyler. Tyler had spoken with Brandi at 7:05 to let Brandi know, and that's when she alerted the daughter to come back home immediately.
Correct.
And just out of curiosity, has any of the neighbors said anything like to Brandi? I know this is weird, but if a 5-year-old came to my house, when my daughter was young, in my neighborhood, we had a bunch of kids too, and they've all grown up now. Of course, my daughter's 17, but during that time, if a kid came to my door and if Jasmine wasn't here or she was busy doing something else, I always made sure that the child got home to where they belonged to. Did any of the parents do that, or did the neighbor just say, "Sorry, buddy, I got to go to work. Bye"? How did that all play out? Do you know?
I know the first house he went to, he walked him to the mailbox, but that was as far as he walked him. As far as the other knocks, no one.
So when he went to the other homes, none of those neighbors, what did the neighbors tell him? That there's no one home? Or did he just knock and there was no one there?
The last door he knocked on, the lady shut the door in his face.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. All right, because, as far as, I think you clarified up the thing. I guess someone mentioned about the older boy. I guess he locked himself in the room or whatever. But
Well, I'm about to start some drama. Whoever slammed the door in that boy's face, you're a little bitch.
Really can't go off of that either. I'm just trying to figure out how a 5-year-old in the span from 7:30 until 7:05, the father's changing diapers, he's ordering pizza, the daughter comes home, the daughter leaves, the other son is there, but now the other son is not accounted for as far as where was he in the home if he wasn't locked in his room. From what I understood, Michael was like one of the kids that would be like he always wanted to be around his brothers and sisters. So if his older brother was there, where was there the disconnect during this 40 or 45-minute time frame when he went gone? Did Brandi ever say anything to you about that?
I'm still unsure. I know that she said, older brother was playing, like video games and stuff, and Michael was, pestering like, I want to play, and he kind of got annoyed and was like locked himself in his room, like leave me alone for a minute. And I know that that's really bothered him this whole time, and that's pretty much all that I know that's been said to me about that.
How much older is
I wonder if the neighbors have come out with anything. I know that there is a video of her. So I'm gonna find that shit. I need to find it. Because these are the people, okay, guys, these are the people that saw him last. These neighbors. It's important. Right? It just pisses me off. And I can't find anything on it. And you would think with the CCTV footage, guys, you would think that there would be a connection there. That's all I'm saying. I mean, 4 neighbors saw this boy and did not return him to the father, to the front door or the garage or whatever. And then, you're going to hear the whole cigarette thing when he was smoking in the garage. It just really breaks my heart, and we really need to get back to that communal style of living within our communities to protect not only our children from predators, but to communicate. Back in the day, and I know I'm sounding like an old person right now, but back in the day, everybody would watch out for everybody in most communities, or they would give somebody a stern talking to if their kids were willy-nilly out in the street all the time. Like you would have accountability more, and you don't have that anymore. And it's funny because the more that I try to do that in my own community, the backlash that I get for trying to help them. It's just the way that we live now, and this is why things happen the way that they do sometimes. It's ridiculous, and we need to get back to that. Why are we not talking about predators that live in your communities? It's not like you're the one that should be ashamed of talking about it. They did some effed up stuff, and they're going to live in your communities. So if predators are going to live in your communities, they need to know that you know. They need to know that we all know about you, and we're keeping a close eye on you. Period. Why are we so afraid and ashamed to do that? I think we're lazy, entitled, and think that law enforcement is the only ones that should be doing preventative stuff. They're not there to do preventative stuff. They're there when things go wrong. Communities are there to make sure everyone is safe and to watch out for things that aren't necessarily safe, like predators. It blows my mind. And that shit's got to change, but how can you change it in communities? There's millions. It's just, all right.
Is the other kid, I mean, compared to Michael, the brother?
About 7 years older.
Okay, so let's say he's 12 and Michael's 5.
Right.
Okay, and then how old is the daughter? She must be up in age because she has a boyfriend and doing her own thing, right?
Yeah, she's 15.
Got you. All right, that's all the information that I really wanted. I'm trying to study this because I know there's something that's not right here. I'm just trying to figure it out. And but I want to thank you ever so much again, Crystal, for taking the courage and the time, to come on the space and explain to us. And if no one else says it, I just want to say thank you, and I really appreciate it. And Nicole, if you want to knock me down and let someone else speak, you go ahead.
Okay. So I'm running into a little. Okay. So if the haunted pilot, and I'm not going to ask a bunch of questions just because I do want you to be able to get through everything that you wanted to talk about, and then we can kind of all ask questions. But if the haunted pilot was seen at 6:47, then potentially, I mean, if the neighbor next door's husband saw him at 6:42 last, and he was standing in front of his mailbox, and he knocked on, I think he said 4 other doors, or 3 other doors, because there were 4 total. That, I mean, he would have had to literally been running door to door to door. I mean, that sounds like in a panic to me, as opposed to, walking down, knocking on door.
Thank you. This is what I'm seeing, guys. I'm serious. I'm seeing someone looking for Michael, and he doesn't know how to express it in his 5-year-old mind. And so I'm also seeing kind of hyperness, right? And he's just wanting to play. And so it's coming off to these neighbors as he's wanting to play, or he's asking about something, and they're just kind of in their own world, and he's trying to get help, while his dad is preoccupied with obviously too many things, because Brandi started a new job. He just, I think, got off work that day. I'm not really sure, but there was so many things. And I don't want, if Tyler is innocent, I don't want to be the one that's ugly. Things happen as parents. We know that. There were so many things that people could have done differently, and I know that they know that. And if you're going to do anything productively outside of searching for Michael Vaughan, go ahead and start making sure you're implementing safeguards in your community whilst looking for him. You may just in fact find somebody in that community who knows more, or somebody in that community who in fact may have taken him somewhere. We don't know. But do good as well. You know what I'm saying? These neighbors are key, and that CCTV footage is key. And we don't know if they have all of it. We don't know if every single Ring door camera was got or whatever. So, damn, that's a big, to me, it's like the neighbors, somebody knows something more.
Door, can I play? It's just like not enough time for that Honda Pilot to have even been something that was considered, unless law enforcement wasn't clear about the timeline, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you this. When Brandi said that she's pretty sure the Honda Pilot was identified, there you go.
So that came from them figuring out, from the timeline getting cleared up a little. So did FPD just drop it? Yeah. Or did she know who it was? Oh, okay. So basically they got call records and stuff, and the timeline changed, and they figured that the Honda Pilot wasn't.
Well, it wasn't all clarified to me. I just know that it was ruled out. How they went about that, your guess is as good as mine. I just know that it was ruled out.
Okay. Before we have anybody say anything, I want you to go ahead.
So
and
no more Honda Pilot talk.
I think it's important that you know that.
Got it.
That we haven't been told or has been changed a little bit.
So this is where I run into problems, and I have expressed this to Brandi myself. I've been, really nice about it. So she has put all of her effort, all of her heart and soul into Fruitland Police Department. I don't think that that's the right way to go, because it's been 7 months, and I don't see us being any closer to finding Michael than what we were 7 months ago with what they're doing. I have expressed to her that I feel there's a lot more she could/should be doing, in a nice way, obviously. Such
I don't
as
know.
city
Yeah.
council meeting months ago, back when the Amber Alert was still a thing, and I printed out graphs and statistics for Amber Alerts and the criteria and all of that, and I sent it to her, and that made me think more like conference where Brandi was begging for her son back, unless it's something more. That stood out to me too, and it's I started off just protecting the family, and I became biased, and I became closed-minded, and I didn't want to see any other possibility, and then I finally seen another possibility, and it just became too much, and my anxiety started going crazy because I tried to express these things different ways, and then she told me that the things that I was questioning were too much, and I'm just like the hard questions.
Yeah, Brandi has a hard time with that. Obviously, she doesn't want to think about the bad things, right?
And when she's like, the hard questions are not gonna, I just can't do it anymore. It just blows my mind.
To come back home.
Correct. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. 911 was called at 7. Or if the outcome is the outcome that I don't want, at least he's not missing anymore.
Hey, Crystal, I got, not to cut you off, I got 1 or 2 more questions that you might be able to help me with.
Okay.
The pizza was ordered at 6:40. What time did the pizza arrive at the house, and who received the pizza when it got to the house?
Hold on. I gotta go back to my timeline again.
That's a great question.
Pizza was delivered at 7:15, and to my understanding, the oldest boy got the pizza.
And where was Tyler when the pizza was delivered? Because he should have been home at that time, because he had called Brandi when he got home from the park at 7:05.
Correct. So I'm unsure where Tyler was at that time.
Okay.
And it was never clarified to me.
Gotcha. I think that was the only thing. I was just wondering what time the pizza got to the house, and then who actually received the pizza when it got there.
To my understanding, it was the oldest son got it and took it in the house. That has always been a question that I have never gotten an answer to, as far as where Tyler was when that happened. So I can't answer that because I don't know, but it's been something that I've been trying.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, because like I said, if
where's the baby?
He got home, if Tyler was at home at 7:05, and that's when he called Brandi, and the pizza came at 7:15, and the son went and got the pizza. Where was Tyler during that time?
So when Tyler called Brandi, they spoke for 9 minutes and 25 seconds. So they hung up at 7:14 p.m. So I don't know what Tyler did from 7:14 to 7:21 p.m.
Yeah, because that just threw out my theory that they both hung up and called one called 911, one called the sister. So we're kind of back to where they had several minutes and just happened to both make outgoing calls to 911 and the sister at the same time.
Yeah, because after I read it and said it out loud, I was like, well, I just said the same thing you just said a minute ago, and yeah, that throws that theory out too. So back to square one yet.
All right, so I'm going to kind of launch it further. We can go back into the details of some of these discussions, but there's something that she says that I want everybody to focus on. 1 second.
Because it would be relevant where it stopped if.
Yeah, she said, I remember her specifically saying that somebody had been watching the house. So that just made.
Is it unethical to take a bathroom break during the spaces? Yeah, I got nothing for you, Fresha, on that one. I'm just as confused as the rest of us. Did send that screenshot to.
Well, if anyone,
that Michael sent ended.
First, Crystal, I also want to thank you for taking the time to do this with us tonight. I think that we all really appreciate your bravery and you being willing to do this. So I just have a couple of quick questions for you. The first one is, I just want to clarify. So the pizza arrived.
And do you know if they took more than one?
So Tyler's taken 2.
Tyler's taken
Hannah,
2 polygraphs.
I think has taken 1.
Hannah's
as far as I
taken
know,
1.
those are the only people that have taken polygraphs.
Brandi has not. Keep that in mind.
First polygraph by Tyler was failed. Second one was told he'll never have to do this.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Hold on a second. Hold on.
Spoke with all the neighbors, but why would they not leave that neighborhood and go speak to his other family members? So potentially, like, he could be with one of his family members in another state somewhere.
I mean, I guess anything is possible. Because as far as I know, the family members in another state weren't questioned. It never was really talked about. But backtracking to what you said about the neighbors and stuff, where, Jen had said that the dogs never searched her yard. I did send that screenshot to Brandi myself, and I asked her, why is she contradicting what you were saying? And her response was, everybody was in a panic.
So does that mean that Jennifer was lying about the dogs being there, or not being there, I should say, or what?
Oh man,
I
Ashley.
took it as
Jennifer might have forgot.
no. I just kind of took it as, how would the neighbor be so panicked, but be able to sit down and make a Facebook post?
Correct. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let someone else. Go ahead.
All right, I have 3 questions. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
First, I want to tell Crystal, thank you, girly, and I know that made you smile. So my first question is, when Kira's friend, or the father, who picked up Kira, her friend or the friend's father?
I believe it was both of them, but I think
Okay.
the drove.
Okay, and when they left, do you know which way they left?
I don't know, I know they went down, Southwest 8th, but I don't know which road, if it was Arizona or Washington, that they took to go out.
Okay. My next question is polygraphs. Do you
I'm going to slow it down. We're going to end the live in 10 minutes.
know
This is what I wanted y'all to hear.
who took polygraphs? Do you know if law enforcement has told them they passed their polygraphs? And do you know if they took more than one?
So Tyler's taken 2. Hannah, I think, has taken 1. As far as I know, those are the only people that have taken polygraphs.
That is true. Brandi has not.
First polygraph by Tyler was failed. Second one was told he'll never have to do this again.
Does that mean he passed, or what does that mean?
According to Chris McDonough, that means that he did not pass.
Say what now? I guess I missed this because I sped through it last night and I was cooking. What? Now, let me say this. Polygraphs, as we know, are not based on scientific fact. They are just indicators of deception. They cannot be used in the court of law as evidence. But the more you take lie detector tests and the more that you fail them, quote unquote. Yeah, can everybody, if you feel like that suspect, can you put the red sus sticker if you think that this is a red flag? Anybody? Anyone? I'm going to go ahead and do mine. This is what I was wanting to really find out today for myself, but I wanted y'all to hear that there are other people who do not agree with the timeline and that there has been inconsistencies. Okay. I do not, again, want to say anybody is guilty until proven to be guilty. They are innocent until proven guilty by law. Okay. Now, Hannah, let's see if she says anything about Hannah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And something while you're talking about the polygraphs, I'm just curious when Brandi said about she didn't have to take one because they know exactly where she was. Does that mean that they did not offer her one? Or does that mean that she told them, I don't see why I have to take one if I was at work and you can look and see?
From my understanding, she was never even asked to take one.
And she didn't offer.
I'm going to jump in because we're running out of time. I'm going to jump into where Brandi comes on live. There's been a lot of drama, okay? Let me just tell you that. I have to restart it when
I get that. I promise you. She is very adamant that she did not, that it was to her cell phone. They never.
All right, so this is the part where Brandi jumps on and they get into a little bit of a tiff. And then after this, I'm gonna try so hard to zoom through that so that y'all can get to the Miranda Rights video and hear what Brandi has to say, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Because I'm already live, I think I'm gonna go live at 2 or 2:30. I found some information about Tim Mullen that I think everybody needs to look into or know about. Not necessarily look into, I've already done it, but I really got to get that off my chest with Tim Mullen, so I got to wrap up here in a little bit. But I'm going to try to get through this as much as possible. It's going to be fast, so you're going to have to, perk your ears up, maybe focus on the sound. So let's get into it.
Their phones at work are not cordless. They're actually the old corded phones or whatever.
I work in Central Time, Brooke.
And there's no way that they could have even taken a phone to her. And she's very adamant that it was not a phone call made to her work ever. It was only to her cell phone.
Okay, and I don't know if you or Nicole or Dope has any thought on this, but I'm pretty sure that when Huff mentions the reward in 2 of the press conferences, he speaks of them and he specifically says they're for Michael's safe return. Do you know why a reward wouldn't be for any information leading to, it's really specific on what he says about Michael's safe return, and it just hit me that was a little odd. Do you know anything about that?
Why he said that, I don't know, no.
Now we know why Homeboy came in here and said they had nothing to do with this.
Fresh up.
That right there.
I want to ask either Crystal or Brandi, now that I see her up, just out of curiosity, the neighbour that shot down the drone, do we know what neighbour it was, and was it one of the ones that has the cornfields? That's all.
Brandi, do you want to go ahead and answer it?
Brandi, just so you know, I'm not here to attack or whatever. I just have questions that I'd like to be answered to make sense. I don't think any of us are here, or the majority of us anyway, like anyone that I know is not here to necessarily attack you. It's just about connecting dots. And I know that you feel like there's a lot of personal information that seems unnecessary, and you think that, you know, we're not the FBI, we're not the police, so we're not going to solve cases. But I'm here to tell you, like, we have actually been involved in bringing people home. And if you want to know about those cases, you want to know who those cases are, like, I'm happy to have a private chat with you and inform you about that. Nicole has actually been a major player in a particular case where a girl was identified and brought home. And not only the girl identified and brought home, but the location of the girl was given to the police and she was brought home. So I know that it seems like you're being attacked, and it is confronting, and unfortunately this does happen in cases, and there is a little bit of a mob mentality across social media in general, no matter what platform you're on. And I know it's uncomfortable, but in order to bring Monkey home, you know, there's going to be questions and stuff like that. And it's not necessarily personal. And the more that you are, I guess, defensive and don't want to ask questions, the more people wonder why you're not answering questions and stuff like that. But the more cooperative you are and the more willing you are to work with people, I guess, you're not going to make people as suspicious. And I personally, I'm very neutral, but it doesn't have to be an us and them situation. We can be working together in regards to finding.
Okay, Brandi's on panel,
and I
by
want
the
to know
way.
about the cornfield thing. Who shot the drone down?
Well, I completely respect that, and everybody that is truly trying to help. And honestly, our family lives this every day. We live this every single day. We want Michael home. And honestly, it's on the defensive, yes. And when you trust people and they break your trust on things that aren't supposed to be spoken about, because what if this person that took Michael is watching everything we do? And you were just giving out information willy-nilly? That's not okay.
So wait a sec. So I'll say this, like, in terms of the Miranda Rights thing and the timeline stuff, that's not something that if someone took Michael is going to mess up anything or anything like that. It's just, if we're being totally honest, it's simply a matter of
Okay, I'm going to stop right there since she brought up the Miranda Rights thing. This is the Miranda Rights video that she's referring to that they put out. I don't know if Crystal put this out. Excuse me, I don't know who actually released this, but listen. Hang on to your booties. Again, this is the Miranda Rights. Tyler Vaughan went into the police station, I believe, in February. And this is the discussion that Brandi had about it.
I told him what I told Sai, that he's the sissy Lala, and I'm the badass. And he laughed.
If it's a trick and they arrest Tyler, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
There's no way in fucking hell. I'll burn the place down. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way in hell. There is no way in hell Tyler had anything to do with this whatsoever.
I don't think Tyler
just
did
talking
either.
to him.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
No. And I told Tyler, like, I told him what I told Sai, that he's the sissy Lala, and I'm the badass. And he laughed. And he's like, I do feel guilty. It's my fault. It's not his fault.
Right.
It is not his fault. He did not do this. Is he gonna actions maybe of things
Just listen up.
that they're finding out right now? And they just need to have it on record? No, it's just going to be him and Sai talking. No polygraph, no nothing. Just him and I, or him and Sai in the office, like I do all the fucking time. That's it. Oh, so not recorded and stuff like that? No, it's just them two having a conversation. Okay. That's it. He promised me.
You'll go to federal. That's federal prison. You can't go burning down police officers' fucking homes.
I'll just go talk to his wife. She's been a corrections officer for over 25 years. I'll just go talk to her.
So you're gonna
met her.
You're gonna paddle on side to his wife.
Did you hear that? Did y'all understand what she said about that? Did y'all hear that? She said that she is going to, hi Lady CG, she'll just go to the people involved if they were to try to arrest Tyler, that she would go to them and, I don't know, maybe talk to them. I do believe, guys, and again, I mean no disrespect to their family. I really don't. I'm just going based on the facts, so I have to do what I got to do. That is coercion. You can't do that. You can't go and talk to people that are involved in stuff like that to try to manipulate the situation. Now, I understand that she is, she admits that she is aggressive and all that stuff. And so I understand, again, that was Brandi that said that. But that is against the law to do. And maybe she didn't understand it or realize it because she knows these people, I guess. Maybe there's a conflict of interest, yes. Witness tampering, yes. Or not really necessarily witness tampering for them, but obstruction of justice, potentially, if that were to be related to getting some answers because of Tyler. So I need to make sure that when Crystal said that Tyler had failed the polygraph test, she referenced Chris Madonna saying that, okay? I need to verify that, so I don't know that to be true. I just know that that's what Crystal said, so I'll make sure to go and research that. I don't know that for a absolute fact. But if it is true, it's very concerning to me how hardcore Brandi goes against the thought of Tyler being arrested, because she just so deeply believes that he had nothing to do with it. And let me tell you something, it isn't impossible. It's not impossible, and you just gotta look at the facts. You gotta, no matter how hard it is, you have to look at the reality of the situation. And if my husband failed 2 polygraph tests, if that's, what was the case, I would side-eye the shit. I would side-eye the shit out of him, because he would have had my baby last under his supervision. And I know I'm going to get so much grief today about this, but you have to stick with the truth and the facts of the case. And you cannot live under a rock in these situations. It will never work out. So you have to take everything into consideration. I know it's hard, Brandi. I know that. I can't imagine having to be in your position. But it's not helping if you can't at least think about it. Don't fight for someone who is not out in the media eye with you, along with you. He should be doing those interviews and giving you a break, Brandi. That man should be out there. The one who was watching your son. The one who was supposed to be protecting your son. He isn't out there giving you a break while you bust your ass. Think about it.
You arrest Tyler?
You bet your ass I will.
Hold on, honey, I'm coming. Let me go tell Sai's wife.
Oh, you're gonna be in trouble.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Well, I'll go to JD's wife too.
What does JD have to do with him getting arrested?
Just in case.
Oh my
I got a
God.
backup plan.
Just in case. Got a backup plan. Phew. So I truly think Brandi is really just that passionate about the fact that she believes Tyler to be innocent. I do. And I think that she got sassy and got a little out of hand, obviously, with her words. All right. They're not good. I am not making an excuse for her. She should know better. But I do, on the other hand, I do know that this is reactive behavior. This is reactive behavior and defensive behavior, because I think deep down, the thought of the what if isn't strong enough to overcome the no way theory. The no way could that be possible. So she's fighting, she is fighting against an idea that just may deep down be sitting in her brain, in her heart, to be possible. I think deep, deep, deep within her subconscious, there is that possibility has ran across that mind, and she squashed it. And you squash that by being defensive, aggressive, and all of those negative things that bring those emotions out. You want to know how I know? Because I understand that. I am aggressive. I can be, I'm an anger bot. Y'all haven't seen that. I work on it, but I am an anger, explosive, ragey type. I'm bipolar. And without that medication, I might not be the same type. I might be up there on panels being crazy with all these jackals out here with the trauma drama. But so I'm telling you, Brandi, I get it. I get it, sweetheart. Me and you are very similar in a sense of anger and aggression and having a son that almost looks just alike. It scares me to ever think that I would be in your position. It terrifies me because we're so much alike in the sense of working hard and all that and managing everything and trying to be the best mom. And I'm very protective of my husband. That will never, ever, ever overcome the fact that if my child is missing, I would question everybody. Everybody. Because he's innocent. It just tears me up hearing that. Because I really think that she's doing things and saying those things to try to protect an idea that she knows deep down isn't impossible. That's why we get emotional and react to things, because we're trying to protect the idea that we want to be true. That's just the truth. All right. Let's get through this, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So sorry for it being over an hour and 30 minutes. I apologize.
Not wanting people to know and someone telling. You know, I don't think she did anything wrong in what she said. And if anything, the lying is worse. We're here for your son.
I would also like to say, I don't know if you were here for it, Brandi, but there has been a couple of times where Crystal has said, this, I don't want to, with the investigation, I don't want to ruin that, so I'm not going to comment on that. So I'm not sure if you heard that, but she has actually only said things that, in my opinion, and I'm sure many others, wouldn't actually affect his safety if somebody is listening that does have him or anything like that. It's just been clarifying bits and pieces, and she's actually been quite neutral, and I think only in one case, like, said what she thinks might have happened because she was asked to. Aside from that, she's been very, very neutral and very respectful of not, ratting you out or making you look bad, to be honest.
I'm not saying ratting me out or anything like that. I am saying there are things that are sensitive. And honestly,
you know how we could fix this? We could fix it if you were willing to work with us.
I have been trying.
So, but I've sent you messages that you haven't replied to, and I know that,
you understand I have 3 children at home right now, and I'm trying to work, and I'm trying to post posters, and I'm trying to put my boots on the ground, and I'm trying to do everything I can to bring my son home.
Yeah.
Every damn day. Please understand that. Please understand that. Do you know how hard it is? Could you imagine your baby not being here? Could you imagine that? Please. Yeah. No, please just imagine. Imagine every single day that you have to try and take your children to school, and you have to take them to their programs, or you have to do anything, or the birthdays, the holidays. Could you imagine having to try to imagine not having one of your babies there to do all of that with you? And you feel guilty if you are happy that they're happy because your baby is not there. Your son, your love's not there. Could you?
No, you know what? I can't.
So I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm so hostile. I apologize.
No,
I do everything. I do everything with the FBI. I do everything with the car team. I do everything with the police. I've answered Crystal's questions a million times. I've done everything I can possibly do, and I keep doing it every fucking day. Every day. Every day. And I keep going. And we will keep going. And we're going to find Michael, and we're going to bring him home. So forgive me, please, please, forgive me for my hostility. Forgive me for being brokenhearted. Forgive me, because I am a hothead, and I will not deny that. I will not deny that I have, I will tell you how to go 2 weeks from Sunday. But I just please understand that I understand everyone's trying to help.
Okay, sorry. The thing is, though, is that the thing is that you've got people that, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I'll say this. I agree with you, Brandi, when you say you're a hothead. I will. And I will say that I believe that you don't want to hear or even think about the bad things that could have happened or could be happening. And I get that. I promise you I get that. You know that I have expressed that to you myself. And you know how much I love Michael and your entire family. So nothing I have done today was to be or to hurt you or Tyler or Michael or your other babies, because I truly love them so much. And you know that. And my heart is in the right place. My heart has always been in the right place. I've always only ever wanted to do what was right for Michael and to find him.
Crystal, do you want to talk to Kira? Do you know what you did to her?
First of all,
don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare right now. Because you know what you did to her. I will stop.
We're not doing this at all. You joined here, Brandi, specifically to talk about the fact that she had brought up things you did not want public. I am empathetic to what you are going through.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry.
We did not come on here to talk about things that you are posting about people here. We are not here to talk about things that your friends are posting about people here. We're not talking about anything in terms of your behavior, okay? We came here to talk about what happened to Michael, and we will find Michael, and we will find out what happened to him. So the defensiveness and coming in here and screaming at Crystal for doing what's best for your baby is not the way to go. It's not the way to go. And you don't need to threaten her with Kira, or at all, for that matter. We're here to help your son.
So yeah, have to be careful, right? I do believe that some of the friends on here, or a friend or ex-friend, they're harsh. They need to really readdress the way that they speak to Brandi sometimes, because aggression is never going to get you the answers that you want or need when people are angry. A lot of accusatory things come at Brandi a lot, understandably, but you're not going to get the answers that you're looking for if you're a web sleuth by being a shit. I don't care what drama is going on. So the disrespect does need to kind of back off, right? There has been a lot of disrespect towards Brandi. However, at the same time, Brandi's very defensive when there's any new theories that relates to the timelines being off and all that stuff, and Crystal coming out and sharing all the information. So I'm kind of like on the fence, right? Like I want to empower Brandi, but I also, they have such good ideas, this group that is trying to help. So it's tough. I just ask that, everybody be a little more open-minded with Brandi being so aggressive. I really do think it's coming from a place of just not wanting to believe the possibility.
Go ahead, Crystal.
You can go ahead, Crystal.
GMT, go ahead. I think I might have muted everyone. I think maybe no one can unmute themselves. I don't know. I really don't know anything about this. GMT, can you unmute yourself or no?
Everyone.
Sorry. Whoops.
All I want to say is the reason that I came on this space and did this.
Well, now we're all talking at the same time.
Oh, sorry.
Brandi?
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
I came on.
I know, it's like weird.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone, that I am so hostile and I'm so angry, and I just want my baby home. And I am
and I believe her.
I'm a very aggressive person, and
I don't know why there's an echo, but that's okay. I just want to tell you. Okay? Listen. You have to understand, you're going to be hostile. I get that. But you have a room full of people that are trying to help you bring your baby home. Okay? And you may not like how we're going about it.
And I can agree with this girl. It's shit.
And you may be afraid of the answers you may find.
And I know that at times it is very overwhelming on top of the overwhelming stuff that's already going on. But I can speak for myself. I am here for Michael, and the next Michael after Michael, and the next Michael after that Michael. If you can understand a stranger's love for a child that they've not ever met, I have that for your son. I've had it since last July.
These web sleuths have helped,
in my opinion,
find
the fact that
missing people.
I am doing what I'm doing, and I don't need you to, I honestly, Brandi, I do not need you to praise me and tell everyone how wonderful I am, and thanks for doing this and that. Like, I look at it from a point, it was Tyler's word, intrusive. But at this point, it's been 7 months, and he needs to come home. What people are going to think, what people think, and how people are going to judge, and we're just trying to get to the bottom of it. And here in the last week, your son's been trending on Twitter. There's been a lot of people coming together, and I'll tell you this: it's difficult for me to see the posters when I'm blocked from absolutely everything. So I don't know how much.
Well, then I'll go. Apparently, if somebody's or posting posters on National Center, there's so much going on. I'm trying to work with senators. But I don't know what else more I can do other than please just help bring awareness. There are so many professionals, FBI, the card team.
Are you aware that the what is it called? The post that you shared, the truckers. You know what I'm talking about? Truckers.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know that. No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah, because they basically what they directed everyone to do was only go to their page for.
That's if you read it, it wasn't. Okay, maybe I read it wrong.
Probably so.
Started questioning. Yes.
So they're not like working with you in the sense that.
No, I just.
When you were meeting with like the convoy, I don't know what that means. So I just assumed that happened.
There was the Freedom Convoy that came through Washington and Idaho. Basically.
This is Sleuthy Goosey right here on Twitter. She's been following this case so much, and there's just so much information about what they've covered and talked about. Her whole Twitter page is just full of speculation and information. Now, there is some disrespect. Beware. There's some big old disrespect because of the drama that has unfolded over the months. And it's going to piss you off. It pissed me off. But I have to look past that and not get involved in that because Michael Vaughan.
The truckers weren't allowed to be, and it was in Canada too. They weren't going to be able to travel cross borders and everything without the vaccine.
Oh, it was unrelated to the truckers' Facebook post.
Yes, completely. I went and I got up and I talked to people, and there were some people I talked to that were local. And what was a better opportunity? I seen it on Facebook, and I was like, oh, they're going to be here at this time. Where is this going? And I drove out to that stop, and there were people over the overpasses waving the American flag, and I handed out Michael's flyers. And the other day, I met her at the truck stop, and I
here the entire time tonight, or just were I don't know what the situation is, but do you not think that maybe he should make some type of are they going to do any more press conferences? Or I was actually pretty surprised to see that they deleted yours and the very first one off of the Fruitland website.
The reason they did that, honestly, is because of the just horrific comments on all of it.
But the comments for your press conference were always turned off.
No, they weren't.
Okay. So are they
the trees, the search out there? We didn't know about that until it was released.
They had said to Tyler was that it was to ease his mind and help him remember.
So I spend probably every day at the police department. Tyler works full time. He is working to take care of our family, and I've been working part time and trying to advocate and do whatever I can, put up flyers, do interviews, go where I can go, just to be there for Michael. He's taking care of our family right now.
Did you hear them ask about? I think it was Fresh or someone else that asked about Kendall Ray.
Yes.
Are you doing that this month?
Yes, I actually spoke with one of her associates today, and as soon as I sit down and
I don't know who that is.
Set out the questions and everything, they're going to get it out as soon as they possibly can. She has prior obligations, but yes.
Okay. Does anybody else want to speak? Like the first day that they?
No, that wasn't the first day.
So
that was probably about a week and a half in not over here. No, a gentleman apparently felt his privacy was being invaded and shut it down.
Okay.
You gotta love Idaho.
So he was far off enough.
There was a
he may not have gotten the alerts.
Neighbor that shot down the drone.
Correct, but I will tell you right now, the alert. If you are not signed up, police officers, turn off the Amber Alert. I don't believe.
For you to know, and then I received threats, which you know about because the police department called you. But my question is, why was that funny to the point that you thought that sharing it was beneficial to helping your son?
And let's be super careful about this because
there's some drama going on right here.
I could go on about stuff that's been written, and I won't. I think it's valid in the sense that why the threat happened in the first place. But I don't want this to turn into the two of you going back and forth.
No, I'm not. I just want to know why.
Okay, I will tell you right now, my dad is a vet, all right? He suffers from PTSD
There was some
severely.
drama with the dad,
He
and
has
she's
been suffering
explaining
much more.
She was explaining that when somebody comes at her dad sideways, she basically react, and so that's why she reacted against it. So she goes into like her dad being aggressive as well, and that's where she gets it from, and so that's why she did it. She laughed about some information being shared because she felt like her dad was being attacked. So I just want to skip over that bullshit.
Or in the past couple years, I haven't seen him in my hostility. That I'm hurting and I'm suffering, and there was something that had come up that you were. He really is. He really, really is. Like, definition. It was funny to you to share that with your friends that happened.
But wait, I want to clarify when this happened because I couldn't figure out what all that stuff about told about that stuff, and I want to be through this pretty quick just because this isn't
Laws that say whatever in the damn well hell they feel like, and they do whatever. That's why.
quick. If from you personally, Brandi, if law enforcement has interviewed or gone to see anybody outside your all's like immediate, like you, grandpa, Tyler, the kids, like aunts, uncles,
Okay,
grandparents, all that stuff.
we're gonna wrap up soon.
Yeah, they've spoken to them.
Okay, because
this is just what I wanted y'all to hear.
That officer said that, and he's on Michael's case, and I'm sure you know who it is, but he said that was the first time he'd ever spoken to him was when he called him about that. So I just was curious if they had spoken to anybody else.
Yeah, no, they hadn't spoken to my dad. No, not personally until that incident, honestly.
So they spoke to
my sisters, all my kids, all of my ex's family, my ex-husband, my ex-husband's ex.
They went to all the exes and
all of our not all.
Or just the one?
Oh yes, most definitely. Pulled all of camera footage. They've interviewed my regional manager, assistant regional manager, my direct boss, indirect boss.
I mean, that's a lot. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Outside of like your house, and also the polygraph when you had said that on, I forget which one, the lab maybe, about not taking it because they knew where you were. Did they offer you one, but you were like working and they
listen up,
confirmed it on camera, or did you just like not take one because you were at work and you knew you were at work and it could be confirmed you were at work?
They believe that they don't need to give me a polygraph, is what I was told, because I was just told the other day because they've been harassed continuously about why I have not been polygraphed. I've never denied the fact of having a polygraph, and I even told them that, well, let's do it right now.
And they didn't give you one?
Okay, so let's just reiterate that. She's saying that people were harassing, I guess, law enforcement about her not having a polygraph test given to her. And then she said that, she was just to the point of, well, just give me one then, right now. And listen to this.
They don't need to, because
But you offered, I'm saying you offered to do a polygraph and they said no?
Hi, Brandi. And hi, Helly Belly. So you hear the and the reason why I'm thinking that this is important is because of what the reaction is to, and the defensiveness. And I don't know why. I'm just kind of confused on the defensiveness about this. Monkey's dad passed one. No, Brooke, he failed twice. Allegedly from Crystal, the person who had been speaking to Brandi, and I guess a friend, I would assume. He apparently failed too. But I don't know that for a absolute fact. Crystal said that. Chris Madonna from the interview room said that, so I need to double check that first. But that seems to be the consensus.
You're misconstruing what I'm saying, darling.
No, I'm trying to understand.
You're misconstruing what I'm saying, darling. What? I don't think she was. She was clarifying. I don't know why the defense was up on that.
They honestly believe that they did not need to give me a polygraph, is what my understanding was.
Okay. And then you said the other day, give me a poly. And they said we don't need to.
Yes.
Okay, so you said you would do one, and they said no, they didn't want
Correct.
to. Okay.
Correct.
And Tyler did 2, and Jennifer did 1.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. I thought someone had their hand up. I don't remember.
Thank
It
you all
was
for being
me, but I
here.
wanted Dope Soul
Oh,
to
yeah.
clarify something, and she left. So I put my hand down.
You wanted her to what?
To clarify something, because her tweet the other day about the monkey mob laughing, that's one of the things I was accused of leaking information to you guys, and I wanted her to clarify that I never said anything about anybody laughing, just to show that I wasn't saying anything to anybody until today. But she left.
So, and Brandi, and I've spoken to Crystal, any information, anything that I'm tweeting about apart from that, and that's literally you or you gave her the screenshots, and it says, you know, how long you were on the phone and stuff. So you hung up the phone with Tyler like about 7:14. One question is, like, did you know that, I'm sure you do know this, it's gonna sound silly, but did you know that you called oldest daughter at the same time 911 was called, which was like 7 minutes after hanging up with Tyler? Because I was the one that said the other night when we had a space, I said it would make sense if they were on the phone, both hung up with each other, and I said, I'm gonna call 911, you call her and tell her to come home. But there was like a big gap, and from what I understand, you weren't getting home from work, right?
Yeah, I hung up with Tyler right at the RV park and got stopped at Gateway, and then called Kira, and she didn't answer. And if you said a Gateway, it takes at least 5 minutes at that goddamn stoplight. So, especially at that time.
So you were already on the phone with him on the way home?
Yeah, I never left the phone. He was on the phone with me the entire time.
Yes.
Okay. So I really don't think that there's much to this, much more. They're just talking about little things, but whoo doggy. What a trip. I mean, so the timeline issue that I want to get at is we don't know, sorry, my cleaning lady's here today. We don't know what's on the CCTV footage. The question that I have about the polygraph test is I wonder what was lied about. And I do believe it has something to do with obviously what really went down during the timeline. And why 4 neighbors, what was it that was potentially told to Michael to go knocking around the neighborhood? Because Brandi's words, he doesn't normally do that. So did someone tell Michael to go and look for something around the neighborhood? Or was he in fact running away from someone trying to get help? I don't see that as too likely. It's a possibility. But did someone tell him to go look for something or someone or whatever to these neighbors? Somebody would have said something if it was extreme, or it would have been on the CCTV footage. So maybe it looked like, here's my theory. I'm just going to say it, and I could be wrong, and I hope that I am. My theory is that someone told Michael to go outside and ask about something, or go knock on the neighbor's door to look for something or whatever. And someone or someone's people grabbed him. Like a stage setup. I hope I'm wrong, and that I will take every lashing that I get from the public on this. But the little things, the distractions and the oversharing of the messy diaper, things like that make me feel like there is more to this. The alleged failed polygraphs, the aggression to protect someone who we've only seen on camera one time. Someone that can't be looked at and observed and broken down because of the massive amounts of hate, I'm sure, and have seen Tyler get on his social media before it was changed or taken down or whatever. Here we go. Something isn't right. Something isn't right. And I thank, the team with Sleuthy Goosey and Crystal and everybody involved in that to bring a little bit of light and clarification on the things that I think everyone was really too afraid of saying and speaking because of how passionate Brandi is and the things that she has done and continues to do to help find Michael. Brandi, I don't think that you've done anything wrong except for react to things that come your way, and sometimes you're justified in those things. But all I ask for your son is to open your mind up a little bit and just say, is it a possibility? And what are the facts in front of me? If you've done that, cool. I'm sorry for stepping out of line. We just want to help you find Michael. We do. And we will do everything we can to help you. I have got a Thomas train set waiting for Michael. If you want me to send it to you, I will. I'll send it right now. It's waiting for him. But we need your open-mindedness, and we need your defense to come down. Take a breath and think about it. Just think about it. All right, guys, y'all have been wonderful. Thank you so much for being here so long with me. I wanted y'all to hear, obviously the audio and all of the things associated with it, with this group on Twitter. Please go check her out. It's at Sleuthy Goosey. I'll put it in the chat real quick. They have a lot of up-to-date information, I think, and some really good ideas. Just beware of the drama. Try not to get involved in that, and just really look at this from another perspective without the drama. Just look at it from where they're coming from and what they have observed. They're really good. Sorry for the thing. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Drink some water. Hug yourself. Hug your babies. Hug your grandbabies. Hug your fur babies. And I will see you on the next live. Bye.